You can find the written pattern on my website, nastasia.com. You'll need some worsted weight yarn, a few skeins of embroidery floss for the flowers, some felt and plastic canvas, and a closure like a button or magnetic snaps. To begin, make a slip knot, then chain 31. After you have chained 31, skip the first chain and do a single crochet in the next chain. In the next stitch, do a double crochet. Repeat this single crochet, then a double crochet pattern across the entire row. Your last stitch in the row will be a double crochet. To move to the next row, chain 1 and turn your work. Skip the chain you just made and do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Then do a double crochet in the next stitch. Repeat this pattern of 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet across the entire row. You'll begin to notice that you are putting your single crochet above a double crochet from the row below, and your double crochets are on top of a single crochet from the row below. As always, finish with a double crochet in the last stitch, chain 1, and turn your work. Continue on in the single crochet then double crochet pattern across. You can stop adding new rows when your crocheted rectangle shape measures about 19 inches. At the end, cut your yarn and weave in your ends. Be sure to use the pause, rewind, and fast forward the video if a part goes too fast or too slow for you. Now we're going to do a test fold of the purse to see how it will look. Now, I like to use printed craft felt you can buy for about $1 as the lining in my purses. You don't have to hem the edges, plus it's washable and very durable. I'm folding the felt in half and testing the lining. Looks like I'll just need to cut off a little bit on the right-hand side. With linings, you'll want to make your lining anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4 inch smaller than your actual purse's edge. I'm taking a pencil and lightly marking where I will need to cut the felt to fit the purse. Felt is fairly easy to cut even with my daughter's craft scissors. You can see the margin I have for the lining. Crochet purses have a tendency to be a bit floppy, so I like to include a piece of plastic canvas between the lining and the purse on the back side only to help keep the purse's shape. Next, it is time to sew the felt lining to the purse. I like to use matching embroidery floss. Make a good knot at the tail end of your floss and thread the other end through a sharper sewing needle. Insert your needle through the felt first, then just make small stitches, catching small sections of the crocheted purse as you sew the felt and purse together. Your stitches don't have to be neat or perfect since you won't be seeing them very much. I have finished the lining on my right side as well as the top part. Before I finish the lining completely, I'd like to insert that piece of plastic canvas into the back of the purse via my left-hand side. Before I sew up the lining, I'm going to also insert magnetic purse clasps. The magnet part has prongs that you will bend, and there is a corresponding washer piece that goes on the other side of the item. I inserted the prongs from underneath the flap, and the washer is going on top. We will cover the washer with the button or flower so you won't see it. You are supposed to bend the prongs outward, but with yarn products, I bend the prongs inward to avoid damaging the yarn. I then hook the corresponding clasp to the other magnet and carefully lift the entire purse to be able to accurately bend the second set of prongs. Place the washer on and bend the prongs. Now it's time to finish up sewing this lining. At the end, weave in the ends securely and cut off the excess floss. We now have to sew up the side seams of the purse. I like to use double yarn and make a good solid knot to ensure nothing comes undone. I insert my needle at the bottom of the purse's side seam and tie yet another solid knot. Fold the purse over, pinch it, and begin sewing the sides together. I like to sew up and then up and then down. It creates a relatively seamless look. At the end, be sure to securely weave in your ends. Repeat for the other side seam as well. Another little added touch I like to do is do a reverse single crochet along the edge of the flap of the purse. To do this, connect a yarn to the opposite side of the normal way you crochet. If you are a right-handed crocheter, connect your yarn to the left side, and lefties will connect to the right-hand side. Insert your hook into the single crochet to the right of that stitch, and make a single crochet. Keep repeating this across the row. It's going to feel a little funny doing this at first, but you'll see how nice the effect turns out once completed. Now we need to make a purse strap. Open the purse flap and insert your hook where I'm pinching the purse with my thumb, and draw up a loop. Insert your hook into the next stitch and draw up a loop. Insert your hook into the next stitch and draw up a loop. Yarn over and take off one loop. Yarn over and take off two loops. Yarn over again and take off the remaining two loops. Insert your hook into the vertical bar of this stitch and draw up a loop. Insert your hook into the last vertical bar and draw up a loop. Yarn over and take off one loop. Yarn over and take off two loops. Yarn over once more and take off the remaining two loops. This is called Tunisian crochet, and I have a detailed video on how to do this if you look at the other videos on my YouTube channel. Keep repeating this process until you make the length of the strap that you want. We'll need to connect the strap to the other side now. As you can see in the video, I like to use a series of slip stitches to evenly and securely connect the strap. This Tunisian strap is pretty solid and won't stretch like most other crocheted straps do. It's your choice now. You just sew on a button to cover that magnet washer, or you can add some flowers. To make the pink flower, begin with a magic ring with embroidery floss. A magic ring or loop is nothing more than a very loose slip knot. Begin your slip knot any way that you were taught, but just don't pull it tightly. Insert your hook and chain 1. Do 16 single crochet stitches in this ring. As you can see, I like to crochet over the tail end as well to help secure it. After the 16 single crochets, slip stitch to the first stitch. Now, pull the beginning tail end of your yarn to tighten the ring. Chain 1. Do 1/2 double crochet in the same stitch. Chain 1. Skip 1 stitch and do 1/2 double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1. Skip 1 stitch and do 1/2 double crochet in the next stitch. Repeat this pattern all the way around. After you make your last half double crochet, chain 1 and slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet. Cut and weave in your ends. Insert a darker pink yarn in one of the chain 1 spaces and tie it securely. Chain 1. Do 1 single crochet, 4 double crochets, and 1 single crochet all in that same space. Then, in the next chain 1 space, do 1 single crochet, 4 double crochets, and 1 single crochet all in that same space. Keep doing this around for all spaces. After the last one, chain 4. Wrap a slip stitch around the post of your light pink half double crochets. Chain 4. Wrap a slip stitch around the post of your next half double crochet. Repeat this around. Once you finish your last stitch, move to the next ring and do 1 single crochet, 5 double crochets, and 1 single crochet all in the same ring. And repeat this pattern for all the rings around. After the very last stitch, slip stitch to the first single crochet. Cut and weave in your ends. To make the leaves, I like to use 2 strands of embroidery floss at the same time. Make a slip knot, then chain 11. Skip the first chain and do 1 single crochet in the next 2 chains. Do 1/2 double crochet in the next 2 chains. Do 1 double crochet in the next 2 chains. Do 1/2 double crochet in the next 2 chains. Do 1 single crochet in the next 2 chains. Pivot and work on the opposite side of the chain now. Do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Do 1/2 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Do 1/2 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Once completed, cut and weave in your ends. And then arrange your flowers and sew them onto the purse's flap section with embroidery floss.